Yeah, we're so glad you're here. Oh, we're so glad to be together in unity.
This morning we are delighted to have Rev Marcia MacLean with us, and she has co-founded 3 spiritual centers and served many others since discovering science of mind in 1986. A licensed practitioner and ordained minister of religious science since 2001, she has helped students, congregants, and more to live rich and satisfying lives. Marcia's experience in team-based arenas, her work with children, developmentally disabled adults, the elderly, and as a certified peer support specialist and recovery coach, provides authentic understanding and empowering support on the journey of discovering what it means to truly live. So please give a warm welcome this morning to Rev Marcia.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm here for the snacks. Actually, not right now. But, you know, I love what Reverend James said, because, you know, when we get together to learn and to grow, I just love doing it in good company and with food, preferably. It makes it all go so much more smoothly. So thank you for being here today. And by the way, that bio is a list of things that I've done one at a time, not all at once. So I'm so grateful to be here. And I love that I get to introduce this topic, or reintroduce it, of metaphysics in the context of being yourself. I think that's a great way to start the summer, don't you? Okay, so the metaphysics of being yourself. And by the way, if you didn't get a little quarter-page card when you walked in, the rest of them should be on the back table there. Be sure to grab one. There won't be a quiz, but we're going to talk about it in a little while. So the metaphysics of being yourself, what the heck does that mean? What exactly does that mean? Well, the truth of the matter, of course, is that is a relative question with a relative answer, because our experiences here on earth are just that. So you can let yourself off the hook. There is not exactly one answer to that question. And yet, understanding metaphysics will help us to know and to become more fully our true selves. So let's unpack that title, The Metaphysics of Being Yourself. The first part is metaphysics. If you've been around Unity for a while, you might have a pretty good idea about what metaphysics is. If you're new here, or you just plumb forgot, she said, here's something fun. I've been in college again recently, and AI is absolutely forbidden. So I just wanted to, grab a hold of the forbidden fruit and use some of it this morning in preparing to talk with you. This is an AI overview from a Google search when I put in the question, what is metaphysics? Okay. Metaphysics, in simple terms, is the philosophical study of reality itself beyond the realm of physical observation. Beyond the realm of physical observation. Okay, well, in even simpler terms, in metaphysics, we look at life beyond what we can see and touch, because there's so much more that we can know and learn from life when we look beyond appearances. Tons, an infinite amount, of course. So what about the being yourself part? Again, if you've been around, in this case, planet Earth, for a while, you might have a pretty good idea of what being yourself means to you. Then again, if you're new or returning to the who am I anyway question, maybe you plumb forgot that too, what that means to you. So here is another fun AI overview. When I did a Google search for being yourself. And you have a short version of that in your hands right now. It says, being yourself means acting true to your authentic self, not pretending to be someone else. It involves understanding and embracing your core identity, beliefs, and values, and living in alignment with them. This also includes being comfortable with who you are. And not worrying, here comes the caveat, not worrying excessively about what others think. That's a tall order, isn't it? It's a tall order. So I'm thinking that our title might look something more like this: Looking Beyond Appearances and Discovering Your True Self. You may have seen this t-shirt. I wish I had gotten myself one. Maybe I will. It says, be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Right? It's so simple. So in metaphysics, the metaphysics that we practice here at Unity and in other New Thought teachings, we do more than just philosophize. Anyone can lay around and think, right? And have snacks. After all, we can't be anything if we don't also do something. So metaphysics helps us get clear about what to do by first helping us to be clear about what to know. Have you ever made a prayer request with a New Thought minister, a prayer chaplain, a prayer practitioner, or even a fellow student of truth? Anybody ask someone to pray for you? Yeah, okay. Well, here are some examples of what you might get back in communities like this. You tell them your back is hurting, and they affirm support for you. You tell them that your neck is stiff, and they affirm flexibility for you. You tell them that your car has broken down, and they affirm transportation for you. You tell them that your bank account is empty, and they affirm prosperity for you. And you just might be thinking, where's the beef? Shouldn't you be talking about my bad back? Shouldn't you be talking about my stiff neck? Shouldn't you be praying about my broken down car? Shouldn't you be talking about my empty bank account? The answer is no. Hell no. I'm going to give you my own definition of that just came out of my brilliance. Hell, are you ready? Hell is the experience of the appearance of the belief in the absence of the very good we are seeking. I'll say that again. Hell is the experience of the appearance of the belief in the absence of the good we desire. And until we resolve that, in whatever area that is, that's where we are. One moment. She needs a sip of water. Okay. So here's what metaphysical prayers are doing instead. And when I say prayers that way, I mean everybody who has some level of intention to understand and to practice affirmative prayer to the best of their ability. This is what we're doing instead, and why. They are looking behind the appearances of the sore back, the stiff neck, the broken down car, and the empty bank account to see what part of your true self is being hidden and not fully expressed. And guess what? Some of you know this because this is your profession. Psychotherapists work in a very similar way. They help us to uncover the truth of us that's buried under falsehoods that we picked up along the way. And we've been trying to live according to those falsehoods. We've been trying to carry them. We've been trying to endure them. And they're not the truth of us. Okay? So that's something that we both do. As a matter of fact, Dr. Ernest Holmes refers to this metaphysical healing practice as a spiritual psychology. And Dr. Michael Beckwith says that healing is revealing. What are we doing? We're revealing the truth of who we are that's hidden under the other stuff that we've accumulated along the way. Nobody's fault. Oh my goodness. We came here to learn, so we start by forgetting. That's part of the contract. And then we have the experiences of remembering, and we learn and we grow and we become in this environment. So metaphysical prayers find that truth hidden behind the things that appear not to be working for you and for me. They bring it out into the open, and they put us back together again, like Humpty Dumpty, only better, in words and feelings which reflect that truth. They reflect that truth. This is what it means to pray believing. And you know what? Sometimes we just need a fresh set of eyes, just a fresh set of eyes to help us get clear again. And it helps that we also have hearts in presence with us. So, okay, but when does that action come in? There's that little, where's the beef character. Well, here's the deal, and you've probably heard this before, but you may have forgotten it just a little bit, maybe, now and then. In the beginning was the Word. In the beginning was the Word. Or, in the Greek translation, logos, which means mind. Genesis, or creation, is always going on, and it always originates. It always begins with the Word in mind, logos, thought. It's like a seed. And then, when we call it good with our feelings, our emotions, our beliefs, even if it's not true, guess what happens? It starts to take shape. That's just the way that generation and creativity work. So we are generating, literally starting stuff with our words, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, and our beliefs all the time. That is the action. That is the action that's constantly going on. You could say that it's the reaction to the words and the thoughts. So if you wonder, well, gee, thanks for the prayer, but I really need some help here. Remember that what this prayer is a utilization of the very power of creation itself on your behalf, laser-focused, tailor-made to what's going on with you by somebody who cares. And that is action. Because it causes something to unfold that's way better than what you started out with, right? Okay. So as you can imagine, not all of the things that we think about, feel about, therefore generate and create are true. But nonetheless, that process keeps going on. That's why we need each other here to remember the truth of who we are. Like whether you talk about sacred contracts or you just literally make a pact with a friend or a family member and say, if I do that thing again, please stop me. Please remind me that I'm more than that. Right? Okay. So metaphysical prayers help you find the truth about you behind those false appearances. They speak their word with feeling about that truth and see you as it. They use the generative power of their word, thought, feeling, and emotion intentionally, replacing the false with the true in mind and in heart, and setting it in motion to show up in your body and in your affairs. Cool, huh? We call that the physical manifest universe, but I'd have to put on my owl glasses to talk that way. Okay. So now, with the help of an understanding minister, prayer chaplain, practitioner, or fellow student of truth, guess what? Now you know the truth about yourself. You have made it welcome in your thoughts, and your feelings have followed suit. Ernest Holmes says that feelings follow thoughts. And so do a lot of other people, including quantum physicists, by the way. So now you know that that truth is in you, and it's taking shape in your body and in your affairs, in your physical manifest universe. So keep this train of thought. Keep this train of feeling up, and you will be living in alignment with the truth of who you really are. Oh, nice. That's really tricky. Okay. First time out with my new sleeve. Okay. So, you will find yourself being not just in alignment with, but embodying and expressing who you really are. And it might be a surprise to you. I know I surprise myself all the time because at this point I have accommodated for this reason or that so many times throughout my life. I kind of wonder, I went shoe shopping and I'm like, am I supposed to wear Doc Martens now or sandals? Because I used to be really cool and wear Doc Martens and I don't know what happened. Anyway, so that's right. I could look different next week. So, this idea of being the truth of who you are is one of the qualities on that list that I gave everyone. So let's take a new or renewed look at our list with the understanding of metaphysics. How to use it to heal falsehood and reveal truths about ourselves and make them welcome in our heads and in our hearts so that they can show up in our lives. And see how that applies to this definition that we listened to earlier and you have in your hands of being yourself. Here it is again in bullet form, acting true to your authentic self, not pretending to be someone else, understanding and embracing your core identities, beliefs, and values. Living in alignment with them. Being comfortable with who you are. And not worrying excessively about what other people think. Right? I said earlier, that's a tall order. It is a tall order. And I think it's at the heart of everybody's curriculum here on earth, in life. So once again, that means we're not alone. There's this saying in 12-step recovery. They say, don't compare your insides to other people's outsides. Guess what? Some of us might look all shiny on the outside, but that is no guarantee that we're feeling shiny on the inside. We might be doing everything we can to create the appearance of being okay, when that is far, far from it. So why not become a metaphysician and look beyond that? Listen, look, sense. What else is going on with that person? And give them a gift of getting to know them more deeply and honestly. That's a gift. Okay, that's off script, but hey, it's a gift. So So before I get to this, I want to just prime the pump here, and then if you feel so moved, you may want to shout something out. So here are a couple examples of me trying not to be myself. First of all, I remember when I was a freshman in college, the first time, I'm on the multi-decade plan, but I had a childhood friend who wrote me a letter, and she said, "Why are you such a chameleon? Why can't you just be yourself?" And I couldn't even answer that question. I mean, I thought she was rude to ask. I was like, "Are you kidding? I'm dying over here." I worked really hard to fit in everywhere, which meant that I was 5 different people every day. That's exhausting, right? Now we know that's codependence, and you can get help for that. Okay. So here's another one. Yeah. So here's another one. When I go to my hairdresser, I always leave looking so nice. And I wonder how on earth I can maintain that look after the first few minutes. And I thought, okay, I was telling my husband, Rick, I'm going to try to do what she does. So I'm going to comb it, which I never do. And I'm not going to put a lot of stuff in it. I'm just going to put a little in my hand and go like this and see what happens. It was a disaster. I was really hoping that I could end up with less curly hair. I'm 63 years old, and my hair is curly, and that's just the way it is. And I am not spending time and money on irons and chemicals and whatever to change it. So I embrace that, which is what I was doing all along, and it works way better for me. So I told you about the shoes. I was having an identity crisis. I bought some really proper little white sandals to go with my outfit today, but these came sooner than expected, and I'm like, hell, I'm not wearing those little white sandals. And that got me to thinking, I know you all know and love Amy Steinberg. Right. Well, I was up in Asheville, up there for a year at CSL Asheville, and I was getting ready to give a talk. And I was all dressed in beige with little flats and a perfect top and whatever, getting ready to give my talk. And she said, "You look like the perfect Dillard's ad." And I thought, oh, God. What has happened to me? That's when I started thinking I really need to get the Doc Martens again because I don't want to be a Dillard's ad. But anyway, so there's that. You may be having, let's see, because I don't think that many really super young people in this room at this time. So maybe you're on the verge of or somewhere in the part of a midlife crisis. Maybe you're deciding who you really want to be after a relationship has ended, a job is complete, you've moved to a different location, something big has changed about your life. Maybe you're just thinking, well, who am I now, right? You could be wondering if your gender identity is the right one for you, or perhaps it's something that you couldn't ask yourself before. You could be wondering, how do I really want to express myself? Do I even express myself? You could be wondering, how do I really want to love? Because maybe somebody has gone before you and made that way clearer and easier than it's ever been before. Or maybe you're just getting older and you realize that last thing, which is you stop worrying excessively what other people think. That's why I think I could still get ink. I could go back to wearing Doc Martens. I don't know. We'll see. When I go to the gym, I wear black and I listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan. You know what I really love? I'm sorry, I'm just on a tear about these things. Internal family systems or parts work embraces all of those different aspects of self and says they're not wrong. So maybe there's more than one of you for this or that occasion, and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, As you can see, if you are hiding your light under a bushel basket, which means you're singing in the shower, or maybe you're only expressing yourself when no one's around, when no one's looking, and it feels pretty incomplete, have the courage to consider the possibility that there's some part of you that's still buried that wants to come out, and your Creator made you that way for a good reason. Okay? So any shout outs at all about qualities of self that you think are worth embracing? Anybody? Okay. Style, clothing, where you spend your time, whom with, what you do? Okay, excellent. Okay, so we've got the juices flowing here. This is how I'm going to end this with you today, and thank you again for having me. Thank you so much. I'm going to do a version of affirmative prayer, which I have been taught that this is what it does. It first claims these magnificent qualities as that which creates all and has created us. It then claims our oneness with it and our origin in it. It then says, if that's true, then it must be true about us because we are here. And then it goes into gratitude and release. And now you know that the action upon those words with feeling is generative. It is creative. It replaces in your mind and mine any false ideas that we had about ourselves and each other. And all we need do is just stay with it and watch. And great things happen. Okay? So I want to invite you to just close your eyes for a moment. And I'm going to speak my word for you and for me, for us. God, Spirit, Creator, the I Am principle, is all that there is. It is truth. It is love. It is perfect, pure, spiritual substance, responsive and creative. It is immutable power. It is light. It is beauty. It is magnificence. It is limitless treasure. And I am, and we are one with it, made by it, out of it, in its image and in its likeness. There is nothing else that we can be or do or have or experience other than this good. Therefore, I know that authenticity comes naturally to us. It is our default setting. We have no desire to be someone else, for we know and love who we are. We embrace our identities and cherish our beliefs and values, living in alignment with them all in grace and with ease. We are comfortable with who we are and love that our comfort causes people to think. We are inspiring examples of what it means to truly live, and we love it. In gratitude for this and all of the beautiful ways that it shows up uniquely as us, I give thanks. I release my word into the creative activity that is the law of life. And together we say, and so it is. and you can open your eyes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Let us begin by gently closing our eyes and turning within. And just notice your breath without trying to change it. Just observe. Take in a deep breath and then release. Breathe in peace. And breathe out anything that no longer serves. Breathe in clarity. And exhale any tension. With every breath, return more deeply to yourself. Let the breath guide you into this present, holy moment. Now imagine roots of radiant light extending from the soles of your feet deep into the earth. And feel yourself becoming more anchored, more supported, and more present. For you are grounded, you are safe, and you are held. Now bring your awareness to the light within you, unchanging, eternal, real. This light is the truth of who you are. You are not your fears. You're not your past. You're not even your roles that you play. You are a divine expression of love. In your heart, contemplate and consider these thoughts. I am safe to be who I truly am. I am safe to be who I truly am. I am loved. I am guided, and I am free. I am the embodiment of divine truth. I invite you now to rest in the stillness for just a moment. Let your mind be still, your body relax. What does it feel like to be totally still? Be at rest. Allow your soul to speak. And in this moment, pay attention and listen. And listen. Allow your intuition to speak to you. Maybe a word, a feeling, sense, maybe even a picture comes to your mind. Know that you are guided and directed. You are a child of God. A beautiful expression. And so now let us hold our loved ones, our family, our friends. If there's someone you know that you'd like to pray for, I invite you to bring them into your awareness and hold them in the stillness of your heart. And we bless them. We comfort We hold them in the light, and we see them receiving what they need now. We hold each other in this moment, our beautiful community. We give thanks for each soul that we get to be with, we get to share together, knowing that we can be here for each other. We're here for the children. We're here for each other, to be a support. Now see yourself walking forward along a radiant golden path. Each step, more of the truth, clarity, and purpose unfolds. And you are free to walk in your light, to live your truth, and to shine. Beloved Spirit, we now turn our hearts to honor and release our dear friend, Bert Wakely, who's recently made his transition from this life to his next great adventure. We bless Bert's journey home to pure love and light. We release him now into the arms of divine love, knowing that he is whole, free, and surrounded by peace. As we remember Bert with love and gratitude, we affirm, you are not gone. You are just ahead of us. May your soul fly free now. We send you forth with our love. You're home now with your family, with Emily, and all of those wonderful pets that are waiting for you, that are there. We say thank you, God, for the gift of Bert's presence in our lives. So it is. And we send our love and light to Linda and peace. We bless your body. We see you renewed in the spirit of health and wholeness and well-being. You are loved. We say thank you. Thank you, God. So be it. And so it is. Amen. So now, reach and stretch. Bring your awareness back into your body.